Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the marksman rifles in Hd2, and I'm going to let you know what I think about them. And I'll kind of give them an overall rating on based on performance and also based on how much I personally like them. Just remember, these are my opinions on the guns. You may think they're better, worse, blah 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 blah, whatever. But I'm just going to let you know what I think about them. So, uh, let's get into it.
Is more important than living.
Okay, starting us out at the very bottom of the barrel. Probably one of my least favorite guns in the whole game is the Constitution. It's got 180 damage, it holds 5 rounds, it does have medium armor penetration, and as you can see it has the bayonet on the front. That does increase your melee damage when you use it for melee. But this firearm, this weapon, this whatever you want to call it, is the worst option to bring on pretty much every mission. Because even though it has medium armor penetration, it feels as though it is very underpowered. I think for when I was fighting the bots, I believe it was about like 5 to, I don't know, 8 shots to take down Devastators, which are their medium enemies. They it didn't perform well too because it only held 5 rounds. So I would find myself running out of ammo constantly. Even fighting off swarms of little enemies is becomes a task with this rifle. It's just, in my opinion, it's just the worst choice by far to bring on any mission. And even though it has medium armor penetration, it just seems very underpowered, very weak. The bayonet is cool. It is cool looking. It is very cool to use. It underperforms in all aspects when it comes to missions. But if you want to rock this as just like a cool weapon and back it up with some stronger stratagems, I think it is a decent choice. I just personally found myself running away from more fights when I had this weapon than engaging. So uh, it's not it's not unfun to use. It's just it makes it really hard when it's so bad. It's I'd give this weapon just an F. This is one of the only weapons in Helldivers I'd give an F to, but it's just so horrible. If they could increase the damage by just a slight margin to take care of these foes faster, it would be a lot better. But yeah, F for that gun. The next one we'll talk about is well, I'll just call it the light diligence. There's two diligences. This one, and then there's the counter sniper. This one I just call it the light one, but it has 165 power, so it has less than the Constitution, but it holds 5 times as many rounds and shoots like 10, not 10 times, like 5 times as fast. This one I did find way more useful just in my uses because every faction has light enemies that will be taken care of by every single weapon in the game. It's when you find, medium enemies and things along that nature that you have to worry about it. I just found that it was easier to hit shots with this diligence versus the Constitution, just because the sight's a little better, and you do get option for firing a little faster than you would with the Constitution. I still don't think this weapon is that great overall. I don't think it's super special. I wouldn't bring it on most missions. I usually just don't. I avoid it, but it is much better than the Constitution. I would, for this reason, I'd give it like a C tier. It's not a horrible weapon. It's not great, but the uses are just kind of limited. It's been, it wasn't bad in all reality. I would, if I was gonna try to do like a long range build with this, I guess it wouldn't be too bad. The only problem is with a lot of the missions taking place on cities, it's hard to find places where you can stretch out the distance of your shots. The next one, well, let me go back. The light diligence, I'd give it, yeah, I think I said I'd give it a C. But we move on to the counter sniper, or the bigger diligence. So this one has medium armor penetration, 200 power. It only holds 15 rounds, and it has about the same fire rate, so 350. A lot of these are going to be as fast as you could pull the trigger, but I just find that this one has more uses, especially because it can take care of mob enemies, and it can take care of medium armored enemies when you're facing, different factions. So I personally would pick this one over the Light Diligence just because it fits my playstyle a little better. It takes care of the medium enemies a little better. Uh, Overall, I think it's just an upgrade from the regular Diligence. I'd probably give this one a B. This one's pretty useful. I could see myself taking this one into a lot of different missions, and I just feel as though overall this one is much better. It's like I said, the only downside to this one is you only get 15 shots with it, and you get 6 magazines of ammo, which is less than the 8 than you get for the Light Diligence, but it should still take care of most enemies for most factions, and it shouldn't put you in too bad of a spot. But yeah, it's a solid weapon overall. A lot of these weapons I haven't gone back and tested, like, a lot, and so it is kind of nice to switch it up every once in a while and just see. But, yeah, it's not bad at all. Taking care of the big enemies, taking care of, well, big as in, like, brood mothers, devastators, overseers for the Illuminate. It's just solid. So, B is pretty fitting for this one, at least as far as marksman rifles goes. And the next one, in my opinion, is just a little better for my own specific reasons. That's going to be the Amendment. So the Amendment has 200 power. It has 20. It holds 20 rounds. It does have higher fire rate than the other two, but that's because this one gets select fire. You can pick burst fire with this one, so it fires 3 rounds instead of 1 per pull of the trigger. So this one, the Light Diligence and the Medium Diligence, I can see being used in, like, interchangeably, basically. Just because I like this one over the Counter Sniper and the Light Diligence, it doesn't really mean that one is better. I just personally like this one more because of the select fire, because it's not horrible at taking care of the things that like are enemies on the maps. It's really not that bad. This one, if you hit weak points on even medium enemies, it's really not that poor, and I find it easier to hit shots on medium enemies with this than a lot of the other ones. And I just think this one is cooler looking. Plus, you get that minor benefit of the bayonet on this one as well. This one, to me personally, I'd give it an A. I'd put it in the A tier because it's just with how fast you can switch targets, how powerful the shots are. Even though it doesn't have medium armor penetration, I just find myself using this one a lot more. I will say that it's not super great at taking out medium enemies, but that's just kind of how it is sometimes. Usually you'll bring other things to back up your strategies. But yeah, overall, this one, A. And then for the final rifle, my favorite of all the marksman rifles is the Deadeye, or the lever action one. This one has 300 power, it holds 8 shots, and it reloads just like the Constitution. The difference between this one is, this one actually feels like it has some power behind it. This one can take out overseers for the Illuminate if you hit them in the head, sometimes in 1 shot, most of the time 2 or 3. But I find myself using this one, I think partly because the aesthetic is just so cool with it. Even though it only holds 8 rounds, the problem that you might run into is if you've run into a mob of enemies. But even then, I'll still find myself picking this over most of those weapons because I haven't had a bad experience with this weapon on versus any faction. I can find myself doing well with this weapon on the Illuminates, the robots, and the bugs, and the difference is with the other weapons, I don't really find myself using them on every faction. And also, I think this one is just, like, super cool overall. Sometimes just that reloading or hitting long shots. One-shotting a medium enemy from a long distance with this one just feels so good. Some people would say, yeah, but I like the gun, but it's you have to reload it after 8 shots, and it's yeah, you do, but you're also putting out 300 damage per shot. So I mean, medium enemies, you're gonna take down 2, 3 shots, maybe one, depending on where you hit them, and light enemies you're gonna take out in one for sure. Yeah, this one for me personally gets an S, and I could use this one in every situation, every build, every opportunity. I love this weapon, and this is why it's my number one, and why it's the only one I rank at S. Yeah, so that's my ranking of the marksman rifles for Helldivers 2. I hope y'all have a good day, and I appreciate you watching. Anybody that does, yeah. See you later. Bye.